Hello, it's Liz. Ready to share another video with you today. This has been fun doing this. I hope you've been enjoying it. I mean, I know some of you have definitely messaged me, and that encourages me to keep going and try some new things and share just other ideas with you. So thanks for that. This is the card I'll be making today. Thank you, thank you. There's always somebody you can send a thank you to, right? Okay, let's put that aside. The stamp set I'll be using, Love of Leaves, with the dies, Stitched Leaves dies, Love of Leaves and Stitched Leaves dies. Okay. The ink colors we'll be using today, Merry Merlot and Pumpkin Pie. I will be using I will be using paper. Let me see. Let me show you here. I'll be using Designer Series paper from the Neutrals assortment pack. Sometimes people miss these, so I just want to show this to you. Let me move this out of the way here a little bit. This is in the annual catalog, or you can find it online also. But down here on page 134, it's a pack of 6x6 Designer Series paper assortments. And sometimes they get missed because people just see this color. But you can get the assortment packs in Brights, the Neutrals, the Regals, and the Subtles. And they're all pretty much, each pack has the same patterns on them. They're just different colors. They're great because they go with everything. So I'll be using the Neutrals pack from here. And then I want to show you something else. I'm going to be using this punch right here. This punch itself is not in the catalog anymore, but I'm going to use it because you can get the same effect with this punch here. It's on page 149, Banners Pick a Punch. So right here, you're going to get the same thing as what I'm showing you. Okay, so let's put that aside. And let me give you the pieces. Oh, the other thing I'm going to be using is this cork paper. If you have not discovered this cork paper yet, this is awesome. It's cork specialty paper. It is in the mini catalog. It comes in two 12x12 sheets. Look at this. Like, it truly looks like a cork board. And it's soft. It doesn't add, I've been asked, does it add extra weight to your card? It really does not because it's super, super thin. So you can add this to your card without needing to add extra postage, which is nice. So cork paper, check it out. So here's our pieces I'll be using. Sahara Sand is my base. 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, cut in half. Let's set that aside. I'll be using a piece of the cork paper, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have 2 pieces of the Neutral Designer Series paper. One is cut to 1.5 by 5. And then I have another one cut to 1.5 by 4. And then I have one piece of Early Espresso cardstock that is cut 1 by 4.5. And then I have 2 other pieces of white cardstock. There's no measurements for these because this one here is for the words, and that's going to change depending on what sentiments you put on yours. I mean, if you're going to use the exact same stamp set I'm using, let's see, I got metric on one side. This piece here is 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch. Okay, and then this one here is just a random piece of white cardstock that I'm actually just stamping on and we're going to cut out. So let's do our cutout. Let's do our stamping and cutout first, and we can get that out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and use this leaf stamp with Pumpkin Pie. This is a distinctive stamp, and what that means is it already has shading built into it. So it won't be a solid color. Okay. So do you see here how you have shading in there? There's little dark areas, light areas. That's how the stamp is meant to be. You will not get a solid image all the way across. Those stamps are called distinctive stamps. And I'm going to pull in my cut and emboss machine. Look, I got some brand new plates. They're beautiful, but I made my first cut with these leaves yesterday, if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on top. These dies are amazing. Let me show you why. Okay. Make sure you can see that. Okay, so you have this die right here that you can put on top. If you have a problem with it moving, this cut and emboss machine does not have a magnetic plate like the other one had at the moment. Hopefully it's coming soon, but we do not have it at the moment. So what you can do if you have a problem with it shifting and moving, you can be really careful with it, or take a piece of like washi tape or painter's tape and just put a little piece right here, and that will keep it from moving as it's going through. So you can go ahead and do that if you have issues with that. But anyway, so you can put just that die right there, and that will cut out the shape of your leaf. What's really cool about this stamp, about this die set, it has this piece also. If you want to just cut it like that, fine. This one here, you can lay it inside and you'll get those veins. It will emboss the veins onto your leaf. Okay, so we're going to take that and lay that inside there. Don't worry about it being exactly, but you know, going to move that in there and get this here. And look at that. So it's going to cut out and emboss at the exact same time. Okay, people ask me about cuddle bugs, things like that, and I'm pretty sure from that you're going to get a cut. You're not going to get an embossing. So this is neat because it'll do both. So I just very gently, again, put tape on it if you want, but I just very gently lay that down. We're going to run that through. Pull this out of here. All right, let me get this out of here. And look at this. Then we'll pop this out. Okay, so that did the cutout. And now this part gave it the veins. Can you see that in there? If you flip it over in the back, you can see a little bit, but look at that. I'm trying to get that up nice and close for you. Isn't that cool? So cut and emboss, just like the machine says, right? Okay. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I want to go ahead and make my banners. I'm going to take all three of my pieces. If you get a new punch like this, sometimes I get asked, how do I get it in here? It's not going. What's happening? The new punch, the punches we have now have a lock on the bottom. So if this is new to you and you get a punch and you can't figure out how to make that work, on the bottom there's a lock here that keeps all of them flat. So you could stack your punches if you wanted to, but push that forward and then it will open up. I had someone swear to me that her punch was broken, and then I showed her that lock and she was like, oh, got it. So it happens. It's all good. And that's why I'm here, hopefully, to give you some tips. Okay. So all of our pieces are punched. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my words at the moment. I'm stamping thank you in Mary Merlot. Sometimes I think it's a little bit simpler to, if I'm trying to stamp on here and I have a white piece of cardstock and I have a white background paper like scratch paper, it's hard to see exactly what you're doing. So pull it off. Just pull it right off of your scratch and do it on a table or something. It's easier to see that. Okay, there's my thank you. And we'll get rid of that. And let's go ahead and put the card together. Again, this is my Sahara Sand base. Bone folder is great for deep creases. This awesome cork paper. It just adds an awesome texture. It's great for making a fence. There was that sheep dies, the sheep stamp set that came out with the celebration, and this was good for doing the fence for the sheep. It just gives a nice woodsy kind of feel and look. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this piece. It's the longer. If you're using other colors, other things, you just want the longer, bigger one first. I'm not putting it in the center. I'm going to go a little bit, just slightly off-centered, a little bit to the left. Okay, and then I'm going to take this more narrow one. And I'm going to put this one over. You basically want approximately the same width on here that you have over there. Approximately. Doesn't have to be exactly. Okay, we'll put that down. Trying to give you guys the least amount of shadow. I keep playing around with the lighting to get it better for you. So hopefully you're good. And then I'm taking this one here and I'm going to pretty much center it. Okay, so there we have it. Let's take the leaf. And don't worry about getting your adhesive everywhere. I put it on the 3 fattest leaf, the 3 fattest sections, and the rest of it, it's okay. It doesn't have to go everywhere. And put your leaf down. And it wouldn't be a card by me if it didn't have a dimensional on it. That's not true. Sometimes I don't use dimensionals, but these are the little mini ones. Sometimes people ask me, what would I need the mini ones for? You can take the larger ones and cut them in half, but the mini ones are just convenient because look how tiny this piece is. So if you have the regular size ones, they'll go over the edge. So the little mini dimensionals are nice for this. Okay, put 2 on the back. Take off the backing. Oops, I almost put it upside down. That's happened, right? All right, put that right there. And we're done. There you go. All right, so give it a try. Take those measurements and the papers you have. Again, that die set is awesome. All right, this is the Stitched Leaves dies. And there's all sorts of different leaves in here. And they all come with this separate piece to make the veins. And then there's like a background, kind of a, like, that's a background embossing piece there. So anyway, that's it. And I hope you have a great day. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.